One of the most important considerations when you're filming outdoors is to find a quiet location. So for instance, a spot like this where you've got wind, you've got cars driving by in the background, is not going to be very easy to get very good audio, for dialogue especially. So you need to find some place where you don't have a lot of environmental noise. If you have scenes that take place outdoors, you want to find a quiet location like this, which is more sheltered, it's away from the street. You still have to be aware of airplanes flying over, birds, people with leaf blowers, things like that. But it's much easier to get clean and quiet audio in an exterior location where you're away from activity. So you want to find a location like this. If you're filming in an interior scene, you also want to think about the environment you're in. You want to try to find a room maybe that has soft surfaces in it, furniture, drapes on the windows, things like that. A conference room like this one in an office building is very common to film in, but it has very hard surfaces, hard walls that cause the sound to be very live and echoey. So you then have to make sure that your microphone is very close to your source. You also want to listen for other environmental noises. You might want to listen to air conditioning ducts in the ceiling, for instance, in a room like this. You might want to listen for traffic noise coming from windows outside, or things like refrigerators, phones going off, things like that if you're in a busy sort of a location. So interiors have their own sort of sets of problems that exteriors don't have. The number one rule for getting good audio is get your microphone close to the subject you're recording. So it's especially important if you've switched over, like we have, to a shotgun microphone, which is very common on a film set. I've taken off my lapel lavalier microphone. And in a room like this, you want the microphone very close because you have all these hard surfaces and a lot of echo in the room that you can probably hear. The reason you hear that is because the microphone that we have is way above my head right now. It was set sort of incidentally by our sound man, but it's too high above my head. It doesn't need to be that high, and it probably picks up an awful lot of the room echo. So what we want to do is we want to reset this microphone so it's as close as possible to my mouth, and so it picks up the sound more clearly. Let's give that a try.
Action.
Okay, so let's bring it down. A little more. Right about there. Yeah, that's good. What we've done now is repositioned our shotgun microphone so it's just out of the camera's view, just above my head. The cameraman can tilt up just a little bit and see the microphone here, but it's very close to my mouth, pointed directly at my mouth, and that's going to give much better audio quality than it was when it was several feet above my head. It's especially important in a room like this. So what you always want to be sure is happening is the sound man, the boom operator, is communicating with the cameraman to figure out how close they can get that microphone. It should always be sort of fighting that frame line so that your audio quality is excellent and the microphone doesn't dip into the frame, of course. You don't want to see that. So that's how we adjust it. And it's amazing how close you can get a microphone, especially if you have sort of a medium shot like this. It's easy to get the microphone fairly close. Remember our master scene technique that we talked about. If you're filming with a master wide shot of a scene and all the activities going on, then you come in and shoot close-up shots, coverage of different people in the scene. If you film with the master wide shot, you won't be able to get very good audio usually. As you can see, even right now, the microphone boom is in the shot, so it would have to be actually farther away to give a master shot like this, and the audio probably would not be usable. What you want to do is come in for close-up shots so that you can get the audio that's much better quality because the microphone boom is closer and you frame the shots in medium shots instead of the wider shot. So if you film in a master shot that's too wide and you can't get the microphone close, you want to make sure you cut into medium shots and closer shots where the microphone can be just out of the frame here. So it's very close to the subject and you get really good audio quality.
So remember these key tips for getting great audio for your film. First, choose your location wisely and be aware of some of the challenges of exterior and interior locations. Second, be sure you follow the first rule of good audio. Get the mic close to your subject. That alone will solve many of the problems you hear in low-budget and beginner films. And stay tuned for more tips videos from us.